No, we are past that. Just moving on.
This is where we are.
Oh God.
Music is life.
And that's why your hearts have beat. Welcome to Unveiled Music with a K.
Yeah.
So this is episode 1 of our show. And what we do on this show is music, all about music. From your album reviews, song of the week, song of the month. A lot more.
Kingdom music.
Yes, kingdom music and interviews with artists.
Yeah.
And so today, our first guest on this show needs no introduction. And that's why the show is engaging.
Yes.
Did you get that? Oh, sorry. So, you all know him. His name is Joshua Mike Bamiloye,
AKA JAYMIKEE.
Can we meet with JAYMIKEE?
Hi everyone, my name is Joshua Bamilo, aka JAYMIKEE. I'm a kingdom creative.
Did you play that again?
He wants to hear more. You're not going to hear that. That's it. That's it.
That was actually creative. Did you steal it because I creative?
That's what I'm doing for you now. Nice one.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a series of questions to ask Joshua Mike Bamiloye. A lot of you know him, and some people don't know him.
Yeah.
And he's a kingdom creative, like he has rightly said, and he's also a gospel musician.
Yeah.
He has 6 albums to his name and 2 extended play, EP, to his name too. He's a passionate lover of God and a passionate lover of the kingdom.
I was supposed to say all that.
Don't
By saying
worry,
that.
we're helping you.
He's a passionate lover of God and he's passionate about kingdom.
Wow.
He has passion for kids and arts in general. He's a voice even on Twitter. If you don't know somebody that caused trouble on Twitter, he does
I've met
a
one.
lot. He has dragged anybody that is draggable.
Oh, I've
He has
been
been
dragged by
dragged.
anybody.
And he has been dragged by everybody that can drag
I
anyone.
don't drag people. Yeah. Children of God don't drag.
You know, of recent it was trending on Vanguard, Guardian, everywhere. They carried him. Amazing. He's known for speaking the truth, regardless of the noise that is out there, and really celebrate him. Thank you for coming to this show, JAYMIKEE.
Thank you for having me in this show.
All right, so we want to ask the first question.
All right.
Why music? We know that you act, you do artistry, you do many other things.
Yeah.
But why music? What led you into music?
Music is an integral part of art. Of let me say performing art. And I was born into the family of drama ministers. And of course, drama ministry is also a performing art.
Yeah.
And yes, drama ministry, but in drama we have music. Okay, so my parents sang. My mom used to sing, but of course not as a musician. Was singing for the performing art. My father used to compose songs for the performing art. Nice. So when you combine a mother that sings and a father that composes together,
It forms JAYMIKEE.
comes to JAYMIKEE. So music was something that, I believe it's inborn, although the manifestation of it didn't occur until primary school into secondary school. So music, because I'm in a family of drama ministers.
Nice.
All right, wow. That's very amazing.
So we're going to ask you, what kind of music inspires your kind of music?
Music, of course, it's not just any kind of music. The kinds of music that I love are the types that tell stories, the types that convey a deeper emotion, and the type that does all that to bring souls of men closer to the kingdom. Because when you do a song and the song doesn't really tell anything, doesn't do anything, doesn't put any message in your mind, I feel it's kind of like a waste of the vehicle. So the kinds of music that I love and the kind of music that inspires me are those that take me to a place. And I'm not necessarily talking about worship music alone. I'm talking about the style of the music, the sounds of the music, taking my emotions to a place. And of course, not just to any place, closer to the presence of God.
Yeah, there was a time I was actually in a depressed state. It was one of the worst states of my life. And that was when I stumbled on your music. I think it was Adara. And it helped me. It was as if you were going through the same thing that I was going through. It brought me out of the valley that I was. It was a state for me. I thank you for that. Thank
God for that. Thank God for that.
All right, so you have over 90 songs. Among all these, what's your worst production?
My worst production would be from that first album. Sorry, Joshua of old, but I have to drag you small. Yeah, from the first album, I think the truth of the matter is my worst album didn't see the light. No, you mean my worst production?
Your worst
rather.
production.
My worst production
Yeah.
didn't see the light of day.
Wow.
What happened? Never take light.
Yeah, so I took the NEPA from it. No, there were a few songs that I produced back in that first album era that didn't come out, that didn't, it's not online. So I don't even remember the name. I don't even remember the name. I don't even think they had titles. Yeah, they didn't even have titles.
They want to sing one for us.
No, I don't remember the names. But I won't say worst. I'll just say, when you're starting and then you keep growing, your previous becomes the less of your skill. So it's just a constant growth. I listen to them now and I'm like, and then some people see it and say, that song blessed me. And I'm like, I will not play this one again. So yeah, so I might call them the worst, but I won't say they are my worst productions. Everything is to the glory of God as we grow. So.
Yeah.
All right, and I realized that your sound improved over time.
Yes.
Even at the time, I think that there was a period that you had some songs that were not really sounding good. And among all these songs, you still had Talebale. You still had Adara that sounded like. So what exactly did you learn that changed the game for you?
I think it's just the grace of God, to be honest, because even as of right now, as I am sitting here, there are still some basic musical terminologies that people will tell me and I'll be like, oh, is that what it's called? Say, oh, is that what it does? So people will be like, you call yourself a music producer. I remember the particular day I was speaking with LC Beats. I was chatting with him and then I said, LC Beats, what do you use to connect your mic to your... This was after third album.
Wow.
He said sound card. I said, what does it look like? He was like, he said, Joshua, go and browse it. He said, go and browse it.
Wow.
Okay. I said, okay. Because by that time, I want to record my voice. How do I record my voice? This is a microphone, church mic.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the cable. The cable cannot enter my CPU.
Yeah.
So let me get a converter, put it in the CPU, plug it directly into the CPU, and record. And that was how I recorded my songs back then. So when people say sound card, I was like, what is sound card? And they're like, oh, it's a box. So, and the sound card I bought back then is what I'm still using till now. Wow. So I just believe it's the grace of God, because you hear some of these sounds, and even when I hear some of the ones I've done back then, I'm like, this is something I did at maybe 23, 24 years old, 23, 22. And I see the one I did at 19, 20, I'm like, this has to be God, because there are some things that were done then that if I try to recall, how did I actually do this? I just feel it's just the grace of God. So I can't take the glory on any of it.
Yeah. So, which of these songs you have done would you say is the best till now? Best of your productions?
There's no best too.
At least for now.
That you can rate.
I will always rate the recent ones over the. So except you say among the early ones. So, but if you say the recent ones, there's the day, there is which one again? There's Heaven, there is Revolution, there is Abejoye's songs. Koraijo, Olori Ogun, Those are the recent. But if we say from the old ones, from the third album back like that, it was still that Talebale. There was another one, but I Have a Father. The one I still wish to redo. I Have a Father.
The redo thing, we are still going to go there.
Oh, okay. So I Have a Father. I Have a Father was a song I was tired of, because my president back then in school played it every single day in his office. So
that song. And the song is the theme song for Journey in Circle.
Journey in Circle. Yeah.
If you have not seen it, you can go and watch it. All right. So you talked about the day. That the day song.
That song.
No, of course, the video was dropped recently. Music video was dropped recently. And I think it was number 6 on trending music videos all over Nigeria. The thing is that what inspired the day song? Was it because you had it in your mind that there is a shot that Adeboye is going to rise up and then the song is going to be the day? What exactly inspired the day song itself? How did you come about it? Because the weight that song carries is not from here. What exactly inspired the song?
First of all, let's first give all glory to God.
Yeah.
The day, to be honest, many of these kinds of songs, many of them, not all of them, they are not songs I planned for months ahead. sit down in one place for months, for D-Day, which was for the movie titled Enoch. Because the movie was already shot, it was already edited. I was going through the supervising editor's cut, which is where I cut and correct. If you've not seen the making of Enoch, and we went through a series of reshoots. So anyway, when we got to the first or the second reshoot and then the editing. So when I got towards that ending part, the instrumental actually had been used through the film. Dum, 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 dum. That it was already used in the film. While the editing was going on, there was no end credit song yet. But getting close to the end, there was already that... when you are editing, especially in a film that has the power of God, it affects everything. It affects the sound man, the continuity. So it affected me as a producer too. So when we're getting towards that end, there was that recall of the word D-Day. So I knew that was going to be it. D-Day. I was telling them, D-Day, D-Day. I was just playing the instrumental and then D-Day. But what the verse would be, I had no idea. So it was getting closer to the time that, okay, I knew it had to be Yoruba. And my Yoruba is... It has small K leg. So
that music with the K.
And Yoruba with the K. Yoruba.
So I went to Daddy Mike. I said I needed a verse for this song.
Wow, so that means Daddy Mike was a part of...
Oh, yeah. If you see the end credit of the movie,
Wow.
you see D-Day, you see Daddy Mike's name, my name, and
amazing. Amazing.
Wow. So Daddy Mike was like, I said, any idea he has, anything he has. So he said what came to his mind was that Bible passage. And he... gave me that Bible passage. I searched for it in Yoruba because I needed the actual lyrics. Then I had to see how to fix it into the chord progression. Yeah. And that was how the song came about. So when that song was finally done, and then of course verse 2, I didn't want to take verse 2. I needed another voice. So I contacted T-Worship because T-Worship at the time just released, not just released, but he had released a song. Ajagun.
Yeah.
And so that song was a strong Yoruba song that had the same vibe of the day. So I just called him. I just casually asked him, T-Worship, can you sing Yoruba? He first laughed. He said Yoruba. So of course now,
Shout out to T-Worship.
Shout out to T-Worship.
Actually, we'll still talk about...
Oh yeah, so he came and it was fantastic, yeah.
Wow, so talking about T-Worship, I have realized that the songs that you guys have had together has been a hit.
Oh yeah.
Heaven,
Yeah.
hit. D-Day, hit.
Yeah.
What's the relationship like? How did you guys meet?
Yeah, T-Worship, I met T-Worship in 2019 at a redemption camp in the prayer foyer, and he was ministering on stage. I remember watching him minister, and it was blowing that horn he used to blow, and it was a very fantastic ministration. Of course, I didn't have any thought that I was going to collaborate with him.
Yeah.
So I met him after the service that day. He was so happy to see me. He was like, that he has been wanting to meet. I was like, oh, okay, where do you stay? Abuja. Oh. So in my mind, it was so far away. Probably so, but he was like, let's do something together. Let's do something. But whenever people say things like that, I'm just like, okay, yeah. But so that was then. Then Heaven was to come, and I remember, of course, Lawrence Sawyer, because I mean, Lawrence Sawyer is the same effect with Lawrence Sawyer too. Yeah. I believe in corporate analytics.
Exactly.
When
when
two people come together and then they do something, especially when both of them are, oh my God. So the train, shout out to Lawrence Sawyer.
Yeah.
The train and Heaven, Lawrence's verse in Heaven. Anyway, so when Heaven was to come about, I sensed that I was only going to do the chorus. I didn't have any leading to do any verse. And so I said one verse will be taken. In my mind, I was like, we're going to gather as at least 4 artists together. So T-Worship came to mind too.
Yeah.
Like, T-Worship, let's do this. And he was down and he was happy. And the relationship I had with T-Worship was so good that I knew that wasn't where it was going to end. We're still going to do more together. So right now, I'm still the one calling him. He's still going to call me. To T-Worship, I'm still going to...
Yes.
So
you're still going to call
He
you.
has actually said that already. So there are some relationships you have like that
Yeah.
it's not just a one-time thing.
Of course.
So what's your... in getting a song together, writing a song, what's your creative process like?
Oh, yeah. So in composing a song, most of the time, I get the instrumental first. Because, I like sound. And I like the interpretation of sound. I believe sound has its own message before lyrics even comes into it. Many times, the songs I compose are for movies. So when you watch the movie, there is a sound that is playing in my head. After putting down the sound, now I have to see how lyrics will fit into it. So many times, I produce before putting lyrics, which is why I'm not fond of composing. Composing is like headache for me. But to get better, I know just to get better. So it's only sometimes that a chorus just comes. A chorus comes. Like, for example, I was doing the dishes.
Wow.
When the chorus of Adara came. Heaven. I want to go to heaven. I was sweeping sweeping that time. I think I should do chores more often. So
Here for you.
Here for you too came when I was doing the chores. Yeah. So sometimes the chorus will just come and it will just be playing in my head over and over and over again till I produce it. Then and I'll begin to sit down. So after producing it, I create a chord progression for the verse and then see how to fix it. That's why sometimes I'll just do chorus and who wants to do this?
Come on.
Come on. Yeah.
All right. So the next question is, if you had a chance
Yeah.
to feature an artist,
Yeah.
who will it be?
There are many.
Give us 3.
Give us
Three.
your top 3.
Off the top of my head.
Start from 3, 2, 1.
I mean, these are collaborations I know will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. The question is the when. So
All right.
I know it will happen, but you know,
Yeah.
we are the type that we wait for God's time. When God parts that sea,
We move.
we move.
Amazing.
We move. So yeah, I mean, I've listened to Nathaniel Bassey for years.
Yeah, so
Years.
I
And then-
Bassey.
I remember when he called me to his church. He called me like a day to the time. I just clear schedule. Like, oh, Pastor Nat Collins.
nice.
So Pastor Nathaniel Bassey for
Wow.
sure.
sure, okay.
T.Y. Bello. T.Y. Bello. I've been
Yeah.
listening to T.Y. Bello since. Oh man, she's been fantastic. T.Y. Bello and Nathaniel Bassey. I gotta mention Adaye. Oh my God. Oh, this check cannot contain me. Adaye. There are also many, but let me just mention
You have
this.
to
two.
see this video.
All right. So that means that Pastor Nat,
No, Pastor Nat, keep doing what you're doing. Keep
T.Y.
doing what
Bello.
you're doing. I'm back to T.Y. Bello. Keep doing what
Adaye.
you're doing. And then, in Jesus' name, that time will come. It's very fantastic. It's very fantastic. I would have mentioned Nosa, but I've already featured Nosa.
Yeah,
once.
so end of time, end of time.
End of time.
Yeah, if you
was
have not
by
listened
Nosa.
to
No, you have to
Saute,
listen to that song.
Yeah.
please listen to
Yeah.
Saute the EP.
Shout out
Amazing.
to Nosa. Shout out to Snatcher.
So Snatcher.
We know easy kills, even though we they prophetic. Our weapons are no carnal. We don't do this for the profit.
Oh my
Snatcher.
God. It's Snatcher now. Shout out to
Snatcher
them.
of Ori.
So, Yeah. So I mean, all this is as I said, when the time is right. God will make that way. So we are very patient. We are very
So
patient.
now, what do you think about Afro gospel?
Afro gospel. Afro gospel is a new wave. It's a new wave, and it is not a new wave in the gospel side. It's a new wave in music in general.
Okay.
So because it's a new wave in music in general, I don't think people should shy away from it. What I usually discourage is if it's not your style, don't force yourself to do it. Even if it's a new wave, stick to your style. Every musical genre has its own wave. There was a time when it was R&B. I'm a huge fan of variety.
Yeah.
So if it's your style, stick to it, but be focused. The reason why it's you have to stay focused because Afro is like hip hop in the sense that it is very prominent in the worldly circle. But I keep telling people, music itself is not the devil.
Yeah.
It's not evil.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a vehicle. So just like hip hop, it is very also easy. It's a slippery slope. You can be doing what hip hop should be, and then before you know it, you're already adding the other elements that hip hop likes to bring along the table.
Yeah.
So Afro pop too in itself is fine. What is Afro pop? It's just the way you play the percussions and probably the way you add the chord progression.
Yeah.
That's just
bounce.
basically
Yeah.
it. But there is a culture around it that you have to be very careful not to allow to influence you. Just like hip hop now. Everybody, hip hop, before you know, they are pulling down their pants, wearing back and wearing singlet and chain, and they're doing their hands like this all the time. And then because you are also doing hip hop, you need to start doing this. So you don't need to add those extra elements that don't glorify God to it. So make sure you stay true to God's word while you are taking action. So Afropop is a very lovely thing. I mean, I believe that because I like variety and I've done a couple of genres in my life, I'll probably still do one or two.
That's exactly what did you just move to
enter
our next question.
That if I'm ever gonna do.
All right, so the thing is that we like to be on any Afro gospel project.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not like I would like to. I'm gonna work on one soon.
All right, so if you are going to do that, with which artists do you think
That's
you
what
would love to?
Or you want to do it alone?
Till further notice. Till further. You know, a lot of times we pray to.
Yeah.
So I haven't prayed about who I'm to collaborate with or if I'm to collaborate yet. So.
All right.
So this part, what do your pure listeners, get in your music? I mean,
Yeah.
when you have a music, what
Yeah.
do you think of them getting from your music?
Yeah, and I'll say this, which is the reason why I'm not really all about trend per se, because the reason I do my music is not probably for the reason many other artists do it. I do my music because I'm trying to pass across a message, especially when I do it for movies. The movie has had its own message. Now, the music is going to say a message probably close to the movie, but it's still having its own message. And when you're listening to it, it's planting something inside of you. So wait, Adusha, why don't you do this trend? Why don't you do this trend? I'm like, I want to pass across a message. That's it. You know, I don't like things being cliche, common. So when people listen to my music, I like them to pause a bit. If it's playing somewhere, I like people around or anybody around to pause and say, who sang that? Why? Because it's sounding different. It's touching a part of their heart that hasn't been touched in a while. You know, so that's what I want my music to do. Wow. Not only about dancing all the time. No, sometimes sit down and listen. I think that's part of my concern with singing on stage. Some people feel if you sing on stage, everybody should sing along with you. People should jump vibe, but I would like you to sometimes just sit down and listen. But I've never gotten the chance to do a program like that before. But
I realized that you do feel live performances. Why?
I don't know. Probably the world is not ready. Probably the atmosphere is not ready. Right now, we are in the trend of church-like concerts.
Okay.
Where you sing and everybody has to sing along. You sing and everybody has to jump. If you sing and people are not, hey, then you're not. But sadly, this is something that is actually in the secular world. Where someone comes on stage, sings, and everybody is quiet and listen. Because if a pastor is preaching, it's not every pastor that preaches. Everybody will be like, right on, pastor. Exactly. Sometimes they just sit down and listen. So now I'm preaching to you, but I'm doing it in song. So sit down and listen. But I can't do that where the next person has to do the jiao jiao. Then, you know, so maybe if there is a time or when that moment comes, when God opens that bracket and it's very, very close. And I'm not saying jumping around is a bad thing. I'm just saying many of the types of songs I do, not all of them anyway. So when God opens that door and it gets to the point where I can organize or be invited, and what do I need you to do? Listen.
But people will not listen to the day and sit down.
No. If the song,
when you say the day, you have to stand.
You're right. I think that's why, to your point, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. Yeah, it's inevitable. If I want to sing 10 songs, maybe you jump for one, but the remaining 9 you don't know them.
Listen.
I don't. In Christendom, if people don't know a song, they get angry. If you are singing a song, whereas listen, he's trying to tell you something,
or watch the lyrics or something.
Yeah, or read the lyrics, you know. So I feel when we get to that point where the people don't get pissed when they don't know a song. Yeah, probably.
All right, so can you sing the day for us now?
The day.
Let's do the day. The day. The day. The day. The day.
What are you tapping me?
Your first verse.
I finished.
The day.
No, I finished. Thank you very much.
Your first verse.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
The day.
My beg. Okay, there's something about me. I don't really. When people say sing,
are you shy?
Yes, shy. When people say sing, I'm not that type. You know, some people every minute, every day, every opportunity to sing. Me, nah.
So what do we have to do?
We have to summon it.
So let us summon it.
Let's summon it.
No, before we summon it, we have to go into a prayer session.
So let's go to a prayer session.
Yeah, let's do this.
Wait, no, that's okay.
If you can go to the prayer session, then we fire on. Father, I would like to thank you. Glory.
That's okay.
Let's put our hands to Jesus.
Let us thank you for coming, JAYMIKEE.
Wait. All right.
One word. I can enter this.
One word for your audience, for your people.
Aspiring
artists,
okay,
people that look up to you.
Okay.
You know, people that listen to your song, your fans. One word for them.
I know I don't have fans, I have friends.
Fam.
JAYMIKE, you have fans.
I have friends.
If you like, say you have AC, you have fans. Me, I'm a big fan. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Say so.
All right. So one word for your fans.
One word for my friends.
Fans and friends.
Fans and
Friends
families.
and families. FFF.
Fans, friends, and families. Okay. Yes. One word. Peace.
Thank you so much for coming, JAYMIKE.
I've not said the one word.
You have said it.
You said peace.
All right. So one word. I'd just like to say that continue to trust in God, trust in Him wholeheartedly. Don't look at what the wave is saying now. Don't be tossed to and fro by the wind. The wind will always go in different directions, but God's compass is the surest. And don't compare yourself to anybody. And then to all those who listen to my music, thank you so much. I'm very grateful. And please, as you say, well done, JAYMIKEE, as you say this and that, please pray for me because I need it greatly. More than the praises, the prayer.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming,
Thank you so much,
JAYMIKee. We really celebrate you. Thank you so much. And that is the end of our show. Music is live.
And that's why your arts
Are
are beats. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you. Ẹ̀mí Olúwa Jehovah ń bẹ lára mi. Nítorí yóò ti fi àmì òróró yàn mí. Láti wàásù fún àwọn òtòṣì. Ó ti rán mi láti ṣe àgùntàn o. Gbogbo àwọn oníròbìnú jẹ́ ọkàn. Àti gbogbo àwọn
Okay, all right, thanks.
aláìní.
Oh, you literally meant one word. I thought you would correct me and say, no, we don't mean one word literally.
Don't let me be
Okay.
pissed with you.